Eric Mitchell. Welcome to The Point. On today's episode, we're switching it up on you. We're talking about interesting topics that are in the news. And what we've been hearing a lot about is internet inequality.
Why should we have a public option for internet access?
We need a public option for internet access because internet access is just like electricity or a road grid. This is something that the private market doesn't provide left to its own devices.
Now, you've heard a lot about social media, and you've heard a lot about Section 230. We're not talking about that. What we're going to talk about today is internet equality, which a lot of people don't know is that everyone is supposed to be given because they have all these broadband rights. We've all seen it, right? We're talking via Wi-Fi right now, and we're on our phone. Most likely you're watching this via your mobile device or at home using Wi-Fi. Now, people in certain neighborhoods across our country are supposed to have access to free Wi-Fi. This is why you shouldn't see children sitting in parking lots pilching off the Safeway or the McDonald's free Wi-Fi to get an education. These children should have an opportunity to have free Wi-Fi in their house, at least to connect to the internet, to be able to do work, attend meetings, and school. But instead, our friends at Comcast, the largest cable provider here in the United States, and Charter, have basically split up our country pie piece to pie piece, controlling everything and bumping everybody out.
We reached out to the top two city providers, Comcast and AT&T, to see about options for free service. There are plans that can help, but they have restrictions or only offer free service for a few months during.
That's why, as we all know, Comcast's record for customer service makes you rather fly Spirit Air than actually talk to Comcast. It is a frickin' joke. And see, it's turned into a broadband cartel. When you add in Cox Communication, you have the three largest cable providers in the country controlling our Wi-Fi. And where are they freezing out? Just like our friends in politics and just like the Trump 2020 campaign, where all the ballots that they want to be thrown out, strangely enough, also happen to be the place where internet inequality is taking place. And our Black and Latino communities or our poor communities are not being served.
According to the 2018 American Community Survey, 52.9% of households in Perry County do not have an internet subscription.
So now I'm homeschooling with my son, and we're in a situation where the internet service is very poor.
That's because they don't want to go there, because they know, the cable companies know that poor people aren't going to buy internet, and why do they need internet? That's kind of the way they want to do that. And that comes, you may have seen, because the FCC has no regulations or control. In fact, the clown that was running it was Ajit Pai. Now, he'll be gone in January 20th. He's the one that changed everything from Obama's days. He really just wanted to go change everything. He's the one that took away our internet safety protocols, wanted to charge to use it. He's the one that's got Trump all fired up to go Section 230.
So Section 230 reads, all 26 words of it, no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider.
So he can, control the free social media platforms. But it's interesting. See, the FCC has been given this huge budget, $21 million to the FCC and $163 million. This is a study that they did. So $21 million study was done by the FCC. $163 million study was done by Microsoft. And what they were able to find is a lot of people don't have internet.
Microsoft wants to bring broadband internet to 3 million people living in rural areas within the next 4 years. It's part of the company's ongoing efforts to narrow the digital divide between rural and urban areas.
They're not given the ISP that they're supposed to be. That's the internet service provider monopoly. Again, we're talking about this broadband cartel that is controlling everything that we do. And it's unfair because we have kids that are in school trying to remote learn. We have people trying to find jobs. Wi-Fi is expensive. If you're paying for it, you know what I'm talking about. If you can't afford it, you're supposed to be given an option to have a lower grade, but still have Wi-Fi, have internet. Now, the internet companies, they have it good, right? The FCC has very little regulation. They let broadband and Charter and Cox do basically whatever they want. They have this form, get this, Form 477. This is basically the government's version of grade your own report card. That's right. That's what they do. They grade themselves on how they're providing service to their customers. I'm not kidding. Go check out Form 77. Form 477. It's no bullshit. It is straight up the government's version of grade your own. It's like that kid, the kid in class, you were like, dude, I swear I will buy you whatever you want at the Shell station or the 7-Eleven if I pass that test. I know we're grading it. Remember the buddy grader? That kid ate really well. Well, at least the ones that I fed. But it's true. And it doesn't make any sense, this Form 77. They're allowed to grade their own tests, basically, and tell you how great they are. The census doesn't help because the census is a bunch of screwed up maps. So they just kind of make up these maps and go, oh, we're here and we're not, when they're really not. They're missing whole communities. Wayne County, which we heard a lot about out of Michigan, where the president has strangely only wanted those votes, only wanted those ones checked because, God forbid, blacks and Latino people, apparently they love Trump. No, they don't. It's just funny that they thought Wayne County, he's like, I swear, he keeps losing. How many more times can you lose? As of recording, we got a guy who's 1-48. Yeah, great record. Most coaches get fired if they have like a 1-7 season. He got fired anyways. He's out January 20th. Anyways, and the problem is what we're dealing with here is broadband cartels. And they are feeding off our rural and tribal and poor Americans that are underserved, and they don't care. See, the 1936 rural electric article, again, it's like the Dick Act. This act is the Rural Electric Act that came out in 1936, has brought electricity to these rural and tribal areas throughout our country. Remember, this is when we were still getting electricity. Now, taking that one step further, they had this act, but it hasn't gone down because this is very easy to answer. Big corporations hate poor people. We know that. Big corporations are like, screw poor people. We don't care. We're not going to go serve them. Why serve them? They don't pay us anything, especially in a day that we're at. But what's funny is you're like, well, how can we fix this? Well, it's very easy to fix, and it's been fixed by municipal broadbands. And if you're lucky enough to live in a community that has municipal broadband, and what this means is faster speeds, better service, and good customer service. And it goes against everything basically. It's in the Comcast like employee handbook, like good customer service. No. Good rates. No. All those things that Comcast believes that are bad. Municipal does this. And the thing is big corporations, these ISPs, have gone after cities that have tried, municipalities that have tried to do this. And it's absolutely nuts. It's bananas what these guys have been able to do. They literally scumbag these folks for providing something better than they provide because they don't care. Because they're not looking at rural America, tribal America, or the poor and unfortunate, or the poor and underserved. Because again, big corporations hate poor people. Duh. I mean, that's why there's Spirit Air, and most people can never fly Delta because they just flat can't afford it. Well, now everybody can, because first class is no different than anywhere else in the plane. Everybody's drinking the same bottle of water, just your seat's a little bit bigger. But the problem is you have groups like ALEC, A-L-E-C. ALEC is a right-wing group that is on a mission to support these big companies.
What is ALEC?
It's really a corporate bill mill. I mean, they're cranking out legislation, putting it in the hands of legislators who go back and file it.
Georgia Senator Nan Orrick would know. She was once an ALEC member. What happens in these back rooms?
And there are votes taken that have the corporate folks at the same table voting with the legislators on what bills to pick. And that at its core just screams out inappropriate.
These big broadband, the broadband cartel, to really demonize these folks that are trying to get lesser, more affordable, that bring money back to the community, provide faster service, and make sure everybody, even our underserved here in America, get taken care of. That's why this is so important, as COVID-19 still wreaks havoc all over our country, and students are forced to learn remote, and most of us are working remote from home and no end in sight of going back to work. I know there's a debate, separate topic, of being people forced to take the COVID vaccine, but at the end of the day, more and more people need to have access to the internet, and we all can't be hanging out with Grimace and Ronald McDonald in a freaking McDonald's parking lot, or going to Starbucks, drinking shitty coffee and getting free Wi-Fi. Because there's nothing worse than shitty coffee and free Wi-Fi. Just if you want to know what shitty coffee tastes like, just order some Black Rifle coffee and that's what it tastes like, and just get shitty Wi-Fi to go with it, and you've got both. Throw on a t-shirt and give it to a racist, you've got Black Rifle coffee. Anyways, side note, that wasn't nice, Eric, be nice. Anyways, folks, that's what I have for you today. So if you weren't aware of what's going on, I wanted to bring it to your attention. So hopefully you now understand what we're dealing with when people talk about internet inequality, or those days where you look at your significant other and go, why does our internet suck? Oh no, I unplugged the router, plug it back in. Come on, y'all know you do that. You know you do. You're like, that's what I have for you guys today. Go check out more. Go check out this. Just make sure you're checking what you're paying for. Read your bills carefully and see what's added in there, because you'll be surprised. Other people in America are still struggling to have just the basic Wi-Fi, and we're complaining about our lightning fast speeds so we can connect to watch Netflix. Some people still can't even stream Netflix because in America, a first world country, people still can't access Wi-Fi. Why am I surprised? We can't even get done with a pandemic, but everybody else around the world seems to figure it out. But here in the US of A, we still have a pandemic that's killing thousands and thousands a day. As always, I am Eric Mitchell. You guys already knew that. Make sure you're smashing that subscribe button and staying tuned and watching all of our shows in this series. Make sure you come by and subscribe to our channel. Check out To The Point playlist so you can see all the latest episodes that we drop daily. Make sure that you are following us on social media at To The Point TV. And I want to thank you very much for tuning in today. Make sure you catch all of our other episodes. You'll see at the end, so check out our playlist. As always, on behalf of everyone at To The Point, I'm Eric Mitchell. Be safe, be strong, be smart, and God bless America.